I want to be good at everything. I want to see the A&M athletes succeed. I want to see the coaches succeed. I want to see the fans enjoy their experience.
Welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs here in the Rollo Insurance Studio. David Nuno, Mac is in the house. We've got Nick Savage also helping us out. Nick, favorite part of the show?
Definitely the segment with John Scheschuk. It was cool to hear what he had to say about Aggie baseball. I know he was there for all three of those games, so loved his insight.
Micaiah, what was your favorite part?
Definitely discussing women's tennis, national champs. Also seeing the term women's sports U being thrown around.
Oh, I like that. Women's sports U, yeah. And by
Softball,
the way, we failed as a program right now. We did start off the radio show talking about women's tennis, but we didn't start the rewind with it. So you know what, Mac, you win today. Also, I don't know if you've heard of this guy, Jim Schlossnagle. He was in studio. We did that on Sunday, but we ran it today because they headed out to Hoover. Bronny joined me for that interview. Kay Naegeli breaking things down, talking about softball. So we had a lot of great stuff going on. It is the TexAgs Rewind. Here it comes. Or Kay Naegeli is joining us here in the Go Hour to start things off because she was covering women's tennis for us. Kay, let's get into it. We've got ourselves a freaking championship.
It's crazy. Yeah, first ever national championship for women's tennis, and Mark Weaver. He's been with that program for 25 years and his 9th as a head coach. Just such an accomplishment. I mean, you kind of thought it was going to happen. They got the doubles point early, but then, singles play, they started to fall back a little bit, got a little, had to have some theatrics, of course. It's a national championship, so.
Well, it was weird because, we didn't start off great, right? And then it goes indoors, and the light turns on for them. I feel like there was this, and there's a lot of subplots to this. And if you follow the SEC tournament, there was some complaining about Carson Brandstein being where she was ranked and where she was going, and theatrics there as well. The team that eliminated A&M in the SEC final was
Georgia.
How many times did A&M lose to Georgia this year?
3 times.
And who beat Georgia in the NCAA championship match?
Texas A&M.
Give us some of the specifics in this one.
Yeah, so they played Georgia 3 times this season, 1 preseason before SEC play, 1 during SEC play, 1 for the SEC tournament title crown, which Georgia took, and then again on Sunday it was the 4th time, the first time that they have beat them this year. So quite an accomplishment. Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned with doubles play, they did start outside, kind of started off slow, but then moved inside after a brief delay.
It was a weather delay, right?
A weather delay, yes, inclement weather, and then got it done doubles play, and then singles kind of had some difficulties throughout, but Nicole Kieran secured the match. That's the video you're seeing right now. She is also a Texas transfer, so I'm sure she's on the right side of things now.
Yeah.
Now you're going into a week where you feel like you've got a lot of things wrapped up. So what is it about going to Hoover? Will we see a Tanner Jones outing, back into a starting role, or do you like him coming in for 2 innings and, hey, throw it as hard as you can?
I think we got to look at Jones and Lampkin the same in that, if you remember the one midweek where we threw Lampkin out there, maybe it was Rice or somebody, whoever it was, we just had him throw 2 hitters to try and jumpstart him, and that didn't work out great. Now, he was coming off a shorter start, and we were planning on bringing him back, and it wasn't the same stuff. It wasn't what I had hoped for it to be. And then Lampkin, when I brought him in the game, I actually said to him on the mound, I said, "Hey man, you remember when you closed that game for us against Texas Tech in Minute Maid your freshman year?" And he was just blowing 92, 94 fastballs. I said, "Pitch like that today." And then I walked off the mound. I said, "Why don't you pitch like that?" And he did. Fastball was up to 93, 94. Yeah. The breaking ball had a way more bite to it. And so I'm hoping that jump starts him as a starter. We'll see. With Tanner, I thought he was great. I thought his fastball was down with good velocity. The breaking ball was good. So I'm going to wait and see who we play. We could start Tanner and use that as an opportunity to say, wow, okay, did the bullpen appearance get him going to be a better starting pitcher? I think at worst case, we found, oh, wow, there's another right-handed arm down there that at least now he has the experience of throwing strikes. In hindsight, obviously, I would have brought him in instead of getting one more inning out of Stewart. Easy to say that on the back half, but Tanner Jones had never pitched as a relief pitcher for us. So at least now we know that's another really good right-handed bullpen arm. So I would say the first game, we're going to wait and see who we play, and then could be Tanner. We could piece it together with some other guys. But yeah, I'm hoping we can just get through the weekend and have everybody rested and see where it goes.
The fact that they got the big three to respond, right? You've got home runs from the top of the lineup, from Gavin through Jace to Braden, who had been in a bit of a funk, also getting a couple homers this weekend. That also bodes well for what's coming ahead.
Yeah, and look, I hate to say this, but maybe those series losses were not only good for the team, but maybe they also came at the correct time. You know, if you think back to the beginning of the year, they lose 2-3 to Florida, but that's so early in the year, you don't even have really your sea legs under you on what you got as a team at that point. And I think if that happens a little bit earlier in the year, it doesn't give you as much of a momentum shift as it did because it happened late in the year. So I think the timing on that too was good. And I think the bounce back, as you mentioned, this weekend was even better. So you have the losses late in the year, you have a top opponent coming in, and you're able to bounce back and get that going. It's incredible. And to your point, the top three guys really did a great job this weekend, and they've done that all year long. So that was good to see.
I'm going to read this text that Richard Zane sent me during the Schloss interview. Ryan Prager's 8 starts at home. Listen to these numbers. 6-0, 49 pitches, 31 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned runs, 6 walks, 67 strikeouts with an ERA of .92.
Yeah, and he went toe-to-toe with Hagen Smith, which to me was so impressive because, look, we've all been on the golf course and we've played with somebody better than us, or we've all been on a sports team where somebody just has more talent than us. And that's a really tough thing to overcome from a mental perspective. I don't care what sport it is. And in this case, you've got Hagen Smith, who is just an absolute stud. I mean, Schloss talked about him potentially getting a call-up late this year in MLB, which very well could happen. And you got Ryan Prager, who, hey, look, let's not shortcut him. His stuff's good. You know, he's 89 to 91. He's got a sharp breaking pitch. He really is a great competitor. So he's got good stuff, but it's not on that Hagen Smith level. And that's not a knock on Prager. It's nobody's on Hagen Smith's level. So for me, to watch him come into that game against that heavyweight and to hold his own was just awesome. And as you just mentioned on the stat side, he's been that way for the Aggies all year. He's been a true number one.
I know football is the front porch of the athletic department, which is also the front porch of the university. I know it's the biggest thing. It's my biggest thing. This is the state of Texas. Football is the biggest and best in Texas. I want to be good at everything. I want to see the A&M athletes succeed. I want to see the coaches succeed. I want to see the fans enjoy their experience. Look, I spent an awesome weekend out at Bluebell Park this weekend. It was a blast. There are plenty of people that also spent an awesome weekend at Davis Diamond, that sat at home Sunday evening like I did and watched that tennis match play out. You get enjoyment from all these sports and whichever ones you want. One of my favorite sports memories this year was the SEC tournament in basketball in Nashville. It was Memphis for those 2 games. So you get it with what you like and what you choose to enjoy. I want us to be good at everything. And it's starting to feel that way. That softball team could give Texas some real problems this week. And Texas is the best team in the country. In year 2, what Trish Ford's done is really impressive. We talk a ton about baseball. That team can win it this year. Women's tennis won it this year. Women's golf can win it this year.
Men's golf.
Men's golf had a strong regional. They've been advancing to the national championships. Corton's had them in match play. Track and field. I guess the men might have a better shot than the women, but both have a shot. And the men have
top 5. Yeah.
Men have a real shot with the way the SEC championships went down. So this could be a fun few weeks. And that doesn't even count some of the others. We know how excited we are about Elko and football.
Yep.
Buzz Williams, back-to-back NCAA tournaments. They finally broke that seal and won the game this year. What Jamie Morrison did with volleyball. It has to start somewhere, though, with the championship.
All right, Micaiah, tell the people.
Like, comment, subscribe, tell all your friends. Tune in tomorrow morning at 8.
Are the Mavs going to win it all?
Madden 6.
What about the Stars?
Ooh.
Do you watch hockey?
I don't watch hockey.
You should lie. Just tell the people you watch hockey. Just lie.
I watch
quick.
hockey. Stars are going to win it all.
All right. And so is every A&M sport ever. We'll see you next time.